Hello, this is Deanna. Welcome to my channel. I am back tonight working on a little project. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it tonight, but I'm going to definitely try. But what I'm doing is I'm going to make a very small mini album. And I am making this with only a 1-inch spine. Now, I've made something similar to this in the past, and I absolutely love making it like this. So I thought I would go ahead and just show you guys what I'm doing. Now, I am making this actually for Sweet Laura. She is Laura's Plans and Crafts, and she is doing, I believe, 2 years on YouTube. So and so forth, and so she's doing a challenge, and it needs to be something about celebrate. Now I'm going to use the happy days. I'll probably add some letters in that say celebrate and so forth, but anyway, her challenge, everything needs to be, you need to notify her that you've mailed it. It needs to be postmarked by tomorrow, the 31st. So that's why I wanted to work on this tonight. I've been wanting to do it, but it's been so busy. So I am going to try to see if I can get this together. Now she is asking for some kind of flat mail type item, if you want to be included on that in her drawing or so forth. And this is not going to be as flat as what, you know, it's going to have a 1-inch spine, but I thought it would just be a sweet little mini album. Maybe she can add photos in or something like that, but I am going to add some, you know, some ephemera and stuff like that in there to decorate it up. But I just thought it would be something sweet. And so I'm using the Happy Days collection by Cocoa and Vanilla, and I've been killing this this 6x8 paper collection. I love it. Now I might get some of the kind of parts from the larger pages, but I've been really just enjoying this 8.5 or this 8x6 paper. So anyway, what I am doing is I'm going to make a cover with chipboard, and this is just a thin chipboard. It probably was chipboard that I received from when I got a haul from scrapbook.com, and it's something, because it's not super 30, so I think it's a lightweight. It's going to work fine. And here's my 1-inch spine. So these are like 6x4. Let me see exactly. Yeah, it's almost 6 by 4 3/4. So that's the size it's going to be. Now, the reason I did that size is because I'm making my pages out of these cards here, and I wanted it to fit there. So what I did is measure it up against my card, leaving a little space all the way around, and that is how I got the size. So take your cards and you take the base of your card and measure it up and leave a little border going around. That's what I've done. So anyway, I'm going to work on that. Now I've already matted all these pages, so let me just show you. And this is going to open up at the top. So these are going to open up this way, not this way. So I thought it would be nice to have them open up at the top. So I went ahead and let me just flip through these so you can kind of see the paper that I put on this side can be any way. You can add it in any way. And then here we got some pretty flowers. And then I have this one, and this one right here was the first one I put on, and I really needed to add a little bit more of a border there, but I'm not peeling it off. It's okay. And that's what this looks like, and there we go. And then this one, I really do love this blue. I think it's pretty, and I used some pink paper. Now the paper that I'm using is actually the flamingo. It was labeled flamingo. It was from my haul earlier. And I love the colors. So there we go. And then I have this one, put the rainbows on the front. Y'all know I love them. And then this one, and then we got the strawberries. And then I'm going to do one more. I've already got them matted, but I'm going to do five, I guess you could almost call them signatures. So I'm going to do 5 signatures and so forth. Now I think on this one, I'm going to add the beautiful flowers. It's going to go on the front here. So I'm just going to use my tape runner, and I just went ahead and matted them. You just mat them and you just leave a little border, and you can just measure it up against your card base. That's why I can't really give you any dimensions. So I like to make sure my card or the paper looks like it's that close. And I like to have this scallop hanging down. That is, I love it. I love it. So, and again, if you didn't watch my Michael's haul earlier, I got these scallop card bases at Michael's. Okay, so now I'm just going to add the other ones on. And let me see. I kind of want to put this one here. I like that one. And that way it won't be upside down. Okay, I'm just going to, and when you're in here in the center, just go ahead and take your paper and put it up close to the fold, but don't go over the fold. Now I'm just going to do the other ones. And this one, I'm going to put it where the hearts are facing this way, because whenever you lift it up, that's the part you're going to see. Okay. And then the last one is this piece. I love the rainbow colors. It's so pretty. God's Promise was just beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so there we go. Now all we'll have to do is like put some, like maybe some little decorations, ephemera pieces on there. So, and now I have my 5 ready to go in my book. All we'll have to do is add cut aparts and just maybe spaces for pictures or something like that. And so anyway, so now these are ready to go. Let's get busy on this, on the base for the cover. And I've already took a piece of paper. This is an 8.5 by 11 piece. And let me get this out just a little bit. And then I added an extra piece on the end just because it wasn't going to be long enough. And this was just an extra scrap I had cut off. Okay. So as you know, I always try to score at 1 inch on the end and just 1 inch at the bottom. That way then it helps me to line my chipboard up. You don't have to do that. It's just something that I like to do. And I've already put tape on here. And this tape I got at the Scrapbook Expo. And it's a 2 inch. These are 2 inch. So it really helps. It really does help to have larger paper or larger tape. That way I only have to put 2 pieces versus like 4. Okay, so I'm going to just add this on, try to get it up along that edge. And there we go. If it's not totally on this bottom part, it's okay. I just want to try to put it on that edge, okay? Now you want to make sure you leave a little bit of gap in between here. So I'm just going to be putting this about right there. I'm going to peel that tape off. And again, this spine is only a 1 inch. And I'm leaving like 1/8 of an inch or so in between. Okay. And then I'm going to put my last piece. And I'm going to do the same thing. About 1/8 of an inch or so. Try to line it up. And there we go. You're going to press these down really good. Make sure they stay. And then you can take your paper and you can kind of fold it up against the edge of your chipboard. Now, you can go cut this part off if you like. I'm just going to use my scissors and cut it down so it's not so big. You can cut it on your paper trimmer if you want to be, you know, precise, but it's going to go under paper anyway. It's not going to matter. And I think I'm going to trim a little bit of this one off too. Okay. So now what you're going to need to do, just like any album, you need to miter your corners. And actually before I do that, I think I'm going to add some tape. I'm using some 1 inch tape on the corners. And I'm going to make my way around, and then I'm going to miter my corners and get them pressed down. Okay, so I've mitered my corners, added tape going all the way around, and I'm just going to peel this off. And the tape was a little bit larger, but it's okay. I'm just going to go with it. So I'm going to press that down. I like to do the larger sides first, or the longer side, and then do the ends last. Okay, and then I'm going to do the ends. Okay, so when you get to here, just kind of press down the sides a little bit. And there you go. And I'm going to do the other end. Press down the edges. And then I'm going to pull that down. Okay, so now we've got this. You want to gently kind of fold. I'm just going to kind of use my scraper tool here and kind of make the little indentions where it needs to be. So see, it's just a little 1 inch. My cards are going to fit up in there. It's going to be cute. Okay, so I'm going to add paper over the top here, and I'm going to put my decorative paper, and I will be back. Okay, so I have added a strip of paper going all the way across, kind of creased at where the middle of my book is, and I went ahead and matted the front. So this is going to be the front. Again, this is going to open like this, and I put this on the spine and this one on the back. So actually these strawberries is actually the back part of this paper right here. Now I had to dip into the larger paper because I wanted the flowers on the front. The rest of them are actually from the 8x6. So you can kind of see the difference of the scale of the flowers. So now I'm just going to add, a piece in here, and I'm going to add a piece on the other side, and then we're gonna get ready to put our pages in. So I've already matted my paper that's going to go on the inside and so forth, and I added some tape on here, but I want to put a little enclosure, and normally I put it on the outside, but I forgot to do that this time, so I'm going to put it where they're on the inside. And so that's why I didn't go ahead and put this on. I'm going to use some seam binding, and I'm thinking that I will stretch all the way across my book. Just make sure I have some extra, and I'm going to double it up. I like to double up things. So I'm just kind of guesstimating my piece of seam binding, which the seam binding comes from my Scrap Cabin shop on Etsy. Okay, so I've got this, and I'm going to lay this down here in the center, and that way, and then I'm going to put my papers over it, and I'm going to like use glue and the tape. So I'm going to go ahead, let me cut this at the end here, and I'm going to anchor this down. If you want, you can just put it underneath here. I'm wondering if I should just put it underneath. Well, I think I'm going to go this way because that's the way I planned. I don't want to ruin my piece of seam binding. And it's going to go here, okay? So I'm going to add tape. I'm going to try to go down the center. That one's out of tape. And I'm going to, that way I have a place for my seam binding to be anchored down. Okay, I'm going to lay my seam binding kind of down here. And then I'm going to do the other piece. Now I'm going to add, and let me grab my glue. I'm going to add some glue underneath the edge here because this is where it gets wear and tear. I want to make sure that this is going to be laying down here really, really well. Okay, do the same thing over here. Okay, now I'm going to use put my other seam binding, find the center, and then I'm going to lay it down. So I think I'll just add glue on this one, going over the top, all the way to the end. Just pull out the center. And then I'm going to get that pressed down. Press that down. So you want to make sure it's nicely pressed down and secure. Okay, I'm going to add, I think my glue is good on both ends, so that was looking good. Now I'm going to take my other pieces and I'm going to put it over the top, over it. I'm adding glue. I want it to be sturdy, and I don't want nothing to come out. Okay, I'm gonna put this pink one here on the back here, but I want to make sure, I want to see where that crease is. You stay on this side of the crease where your book is going to fold. That way then it still folds okay. This has become a very sturdy book with all the layers. Doing good. I'm going to take this one, it's going to go in the front. So doing the same thing, and then I'm going to cut myself a strip for the center. Just because I put that seam binding, I want to make sure it's good and covered, and that way it's good and stable and nothing comes up. If you're giving something as a gift for someone, you want to make sure that it's going to stay together really well. And y'all, I will definitely link Laura's channel below. She is still working on trying to grow her channel just like the rest of us. She is sweet as sugar, y'all. You definitely, if you are not following her, definitely go follow her. Now, I'm going to be posting this on the 31st. Today's the 30th. I'm going to not be able to finish this up till tomorrow. But I need to get this in the post office tomorrow because it has to be postmarked by the 31st. And I'm going to have to let her know that I'm posting this video and that I have an entry coming for her. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to press this down really, really well. So once I finish the base of this, we'll be able to put the pages really fast and I'll decorate it. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to cut a little strip for the center and get that covered up, and then we'll have our enclosure. I'm going to let this get good and dry before we pull on it, and it's going to be cute, y'all. It's going to be very, very cute. Okay, so I added a strip down the center. As you can see there, got my paper a little bit larger right there, and it kind of bent, but that's okay. It's on the inside. Now, I'm going to be using this thick elastic cord. I think I might have got this at Daiso before. It's been in my stash. You can use any elastic cord for this. And I'm not really sure. It's a 2.7 millimeter, I believe. So I'm going to use this lighter pink because it kind of matches the paper. it was kind of like stuck. That's why I'm not pulling it off very nicely. I'm just going to go ahead and take all of this off and just wrap it back when I'm ready. Okay, so you can use any kind of elastic cord. You can use twine, you can use whatever. Now, we've got 5 pages that's got to go in here. So we need to make sure we're wrapping this at least 5 times, okay? So I'm going to have my tie on the outside. And I'm going to kind of put my, hold this belt right here. And I'm just going to take this. And actually I want to make sure it's, I'm going to hold it. And I'm going to wrap it around. Going to move it over. Okay, so that'll be the first time. And this is going to be 2. And then 3. And then 4. You want to make sure you wrapped it around 5 times because we have 5 pages. Okay, so there is 5. We've got 5 right there. Okay. So now I've been holding on to this one still. Now I'm going to take it and I'm just going to cut my cord. Let's see what I do with my scissors. Okay, you want to make sure it's tight enough, but not too tight where anything bows. And you're going to just take this and you're going to, I like to tie a little knot, and I want to tie my cord. This is here. I'm going to wrap it underneath, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. That way then they're kind of wrapped together. And then I'm going to tie a good knot. I'm going to tie it 2 or 3 times. And then I'm going to cut this off. I'm gonna leave it a little bit longer for a second, and then I'll cut it shorter. Okay, so that's how we have it. You want to make sure that your elastic pieces look like this. This is going to be our front. So now you're just going to decide which order you want to put your pages. And I think that I might do, I think I'll do this one first. I'll do this one. I was going to do the blue one, but then it's blue next to blue, and I'm trying to put some out. So there we go. And if your elastic moves a little bit while you're putting them in, it's all good. Now I'm going to add the next page. And the next page. And then I've got 2 more. And then the last one, add it in. And then if they've moved around at all, just kind of move them back. And look at this, y'all. Isn't this so pretty? So I want to hang these down, make sure they're all together. So this is how it looks, and look, that 1 inch with the 5 pages is perfect. So see how it's looking? So let me flip that over. This will be the front, then your pages you have, so you'll have 20 pages. Goes front and back, front and back. So now you have your book. And there's the last one. So now then all you'll do is you're going to decorate it, and then you'll come back and you're going to tie it off together, and then it will be done. So, and there you go. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? It's perfect. And my pages, I'm just going to tie this for right now, and my pages fit in there perfectly. Nothing's hanging out. It was perfect. Perfect. I love that. Okay, y'all, so I am back, and I just wanted to do the final flip through of what this little sweet album looks like. So I added this cut apart on the front, and it said enjoy the ride, and I had these letters from the Happy Days collection that I glued on. On the little centers of the flowers, I've added on some of them little centers. I used these right here that I have in my stash. And I think that that's just enough. The flowers are enough. So I didn't feel like it needed any more. I'm not going to put anything here, and I'm going to leave this the way it is. I thought about tying these off so they stayed more together, but I'm going to leave them alone. So this is what it looks like. Let me get this untied, and hopefully I don't get it all twisted up because it's doubled there. There we go. And I made this simple. This is meant to add pictures in, or she can write in if she would like. She can add her own paper and grow this. So on the front, I just added a little note telling her congratulations on 2 years on YouTube. I truly love her channel and can't wait to see her soar. So anyway, I thought it was a great place just to put a little note for her. And I used one of the note cards and just kind of cut it down and just added a little flower. I was going to add some little jimmies or something here, but I don't want to bulk up the album. I want it to be as small as I can get it, but it's supposed to be flat mail, but it ain't flat mail. It's my kind of flat mail. So on this one, I just added a hello sunshine, like as a greeting page. And on each one of these pages, she can add photos. So I just put take a picture, and she can add it here. And this one says happy moments together, and she can add pictures on each one of these. This one says memories. I added this little ephemera piece and says it's the little things. And then I added this one. It said beautiful. Now the stickers that came with this collection, that's where I got all these words from. So this one I just added a little pennant flag. It says yay. This one says hello. This one says love. And this one is this is the best. You light up my life. Don't worry, be happy. Sunshine on my mind. Oh, what a lovely day. Too cute. Love this paper. It's beautiful. You're the best. Happy days. Happy snaps. And you can put a picture and put the date. It says, oh, happy day. And lastly, love these days. And on the back, I just cut a strip out of one of the cut apart pieces and put, oh, what a beautiful day below it. And that is it. This is meant for her to add to and add photos and so forth. This is going to be my submission to her 2-year on YouTube challenge. So I hope that she likes this. I'm going to get this in the mail today. Got to get mailed out today because it has to be postmarked. Per her rules, has to be postmarked by the 31st, which is today. So anyway, that is it. I'm looking what I did with my scissors. There they are. This one's a little bit longer. I'm going to trim it. But anyway, that is what I'm going to send her. I might make her a little card, or I might just leave it at this because I did put a note in there. And I think it's just sweet. I hope that she can use this and add her photos in it. And I hope that she enjoys this. And yeah, congratulations, Laura, on 2 years on YouTube. That's awesome. Anyway, can't wait to see what more she does. And also, too, if you are not subscribed to her channel, definitely go check her out. I'll link her all below. Bye, y'all.